Hey, I'm Noodle Yeti, and welcome to Cardinalia. Today we'll be focusing on public transportation. Why? Well, currently we only have one way to get from one island to another, and it's over a bridge. And it's causing a little bit of a backup. Alright, so let's make a plan. First thing we're going to do is open up our development tree and go ahead and take a look at every single one of these options here. Trains, I think in a previous episode, or maybe even the last episode, I said that we can't do these because its depot and other infrastructure is just too large, does not fit, especially given the wild terrain variations. We'd have to do an incredible amount of terraforming for any of this. Next one on the list is trams. These ones, I'm just going to tell you now, we're going to be doing them. So we're going to need to buy trains and then buy trams. Its depot is actually fairly small, and it just takes advantage of all the existing road networks, such as our arterials. We just slap down or upgrade some tram tracks onto them. This next one here, subway, it's in a similar boat as trains, where its depot is massive, and then in order to get all of those tracks from the depot underground, it takes up a whole lot of land space. Our terrain's too wild, and the terrain we do have is very valuable, so we're just not even going to do a subway. Would not make sense. As far as any of this air and international airport, I don't think we need any of that just yet, so I'm going to go ahead and hold off on any of that. And for the final one is ferries. This one we're definitely going to do. It does not require any sort of depot, and its footprint takes place mostly in the water. Well, probably like 95% in the water. So it's just great for our map, because I don't know if you can tell, most of our map's on the water. So that's all we really have to worry about. Now, where does any of this go? So I was actually thinking of putting some of it over here off on the left. And yes, I know I said I was finished with this place over here, but I'm gonna have to eat my words because, well, traffic's now an issue. So we're gonna have to put a harbor over here on the left and then one harbor over on the right. And then in the future, when we move out to any of these other islands, we could possibly think about putting harbors out over in these areas as well. And I think this would be a really good arterial network where it just takes people from one island to another, and then we take our trams on each of the islands and then just taxi people all around. And then from those stops, we can even have bus stops that take them further into each island or something like that. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good plan. I'm going to go ahead and try it out, and we will see if it fixes our traffic issues over here. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so the first thing that I would like to do is actually go ahead and buy some of our tiles here. Now, I was thinking, I said in the plan that I want the harbor over here. I don't think this is enough room to sneak our thing by, so I think we're gonna have to buy some of those. We might be able to sneak it in through those tiles, but we're definitely gonna want to buy these ones here. And I think that'll be it. I think we should be able to. Now, I'd like to start over on this side because I think this one's gonna be the easiest, the simplest to get done and out of the way. So here we go. We got our, make sure this is the right harbor. Yes, this is the regular harbor. It says it only comes with a default of one pier, but that's okay. I don't think we really have to worry about that too much. And I'm going to go ahead and try and push this out into the water as much as I can before it yells at us. So it looks like right about there. Now we are going to need to get this thing hooked up with roads. And I was actually thinking that we could have one road coming off of this roundabout here straight down and into this. Ooh, but I don't know. Give me a second here. I think I might have to put this road down in front of this place first. Something like that maybe. And that is a huge ramp there. Yeah, it says slope too steep. Oh, but we can get it in just like that there. Hopefully it'll be only pedestrian vehicles going down that right there. But it should be okay. And then from here, we're going to want to just swing one of these down right over here. I'm thinking just like that. Now, I don't know if I want to control the flow of traffic over here. I think maybe we could if we did maybe a single lane here and we did it in like this. I think that could work out maybe. We'd want to leave this one two-way because we have this parking lot on the other side. But I think that's pretty much good for its location and placement. Let's go ahead and look at the upgrades. So it has an additional pier that allows for another ship to dock. And I actually think we should go with that one. Oh, and it looks like we probably could have done away with the road over here, given it just got rid of the parking lot over there. And then this one says it gives it a integrated bus station and taxi stand that allows direct bus and taxi traffic to and from the harbor. Now, I don't know if we want any bus lanes that come directly to this place. So I'm thinking we could hold off on that one for now. It is pretty expensive at $40,000 a month. So you know what, we're just going to go ahead and leave that one be for now. Now, I don't want to leave this area completely barren. We do already have some zoning on the back side of this, as you can see, but I would actually like to mix in a little bit of a couple different types of zoning here. Now, actually, I don't think we can do any residential simply because of the air pollution. Let's go ahead and check here. Yeah, I think this is not going to be good for residential. I mean, the street says it's good, but look how close the pollution is. You know what? Maybe over on this side, we'll just throw in like one small low density, or not low density, low income. Then maybe we can do like a mixed use, and then we could just go back to our high density commercial. Now, I actually don't know how tall these are going to be. That's kind of a bit of a curiosity to me, but I think we'll be okay. We'll just go ahead and throw those down in there. Now, this cliff in the back is going to be pretty wild, but I think I'm going to use my imagination and pretend that we have like a retaining wall, or we're using the buildings as a retaining wall for this cliff up here. So it'll just have to be something we ignore. Now, for the pathway here, I actually want to hook this up into the main shipping lane. So if we come from here, we're going to turn on our continuous, and we're just going to kind of wrap this around. Now, I think this is where things get a little bit tricky. It looks like we're barely able to fit it right in between there. And then from here is where we can hook it up right into that lane. Now, the first shipping line I want to do, we're going to turn our view there off. We're going to start at the harbor on that one new connection we just made. And we're going to come all the way out over here to this waypoint up top, and then come back around and finish this line out. Now, that'll be one of our intercity methods where ships will just come in from the outside. We could send people out that way. Just another way to get people in and out. Now, I actually think this is probably the easiest one just now done and complete. Would you look at that? Fancy. La-dee-da. Now for the other one. This one's going to be a little bit more complicated, and I was thinking, as I said in the plan, that I would like it right about here. So we're going to take our harbor here, and we're going to, same thing, I'm going to try and push this out into the water, and it's not looking like it's going to let me, so I think we're going to have to pull this back just a little bit here to right about there. I'm thinking that's decent enough. You can see it kind of did a little bit of terraforming in there a little bit. How it immediately flattened all the terrain down there, but that's kind of fine. I get it. It needs to get these huge ships in here. And that's actually one of the downsides. We actually don't get our own choice of ships, but that's fine. So for this one, I'm going to take our one-way road and bring it out all the way over here. And then I actually want to continue our collector over here just a little bit farther. So if we take our continuous tool here, we're going to have to bring it around something like that, bring it straight, and then this is where I want to turn on our contour lines here and kind of get an idea of where we want this to meet up with another main road. Now, if we're looking at these contour lines here, it looks like we'll be able to maybe sneak it along this darker one for a little bit. Let's actually try that out right around over here, all the way to about right here, and then we could easily, very gradually slope it all the way up to maybe right about that point right there. Now, we do have a little bit of a bump in the terrain right there, but that's easy. We could fix that one quick enough. And I was thinking that from here, we could just maybe drag another road down and aim it in this direction. I'm just going to leave it just like that. And then we can go ahead and maybe hook this road up right there. 3. Now I want this to be 3 separate roads. So we're just going to put our very large roundabouts right there and there. I do have plans for this road right here in the future, but it's nothing that I will be able to get done today, in this episode at least. But anyways, I think we're getting a little bit distracted here. We got to think about our road, how we're going to get this thing connected up. So I was thinking, oh my goodness, that is very wavy. That is exactly what I was thinking. Not, but it is a perfectly fine distraction here. If we can get this thing to line up decently enough. That's close enough there. Get back to our one-way roads here. And I actually kind of want to bring this straight out and then curve it right into the road here. Something like that. And then from this side, I actually want to come straight. We're going to have to reverse its direction, but I want this to tee off into this harbor here. So we will have to turn it around just to make this thing flow and flow appropriately. And ooh, actually, I want this to have double lanes, and you will see in the future as to why. And there we go. That's that harbor done too. I'm kidding. It's not done. We still have to drag our fancy handy dandy harbor line tool here all the way out over in this direction. Bring it out. Now, I wonder if the harbor lines actually create noise for the neighbors or the neighborhoods that are right there. But I think it should be okay. I don't see why it couldn't be. But I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. I'm pretty sure we won't have to worry about the noise the boats create from driving by. Ooh, and it looks like we're probably going to want to upgrade this one as well to have the second harbor attachment. So before we go creating any lines, let's go ahead and get that upgraded there. Get back in here. Push the I button so we could see. I'm going to start from the left side this time, and we're going to go ahead and bring this out and hook it up right into this other harbor over here and bring it right back in. If it'll let me here, the game seems to be struggling here for a second. Yep, it struggled so hard, it just failed to make the line. So bring it in right over there, and then bring it all the way back, connect it, and that's our local route. That'll be the beginning of our ferry line, harbor arterial line, I guess. And then on this one, we're actually going to take this one, and we're going to drag it all the way out to this bottom south side here, and then all the way back over. And that'll be our other connection in and out of the city, if it'll let us. Just like that. So we'll have 2 ways in and out of the city, as well as 1 arterial that takes people from island to island. I'm thinking that's pretty good. Don't think we're going to see a whole lot of use out of this. I mean, we just put it down, so it's no surprise that it says there's 0 passengers waiting, as well as over here we might have, it'll let us click on it and not the routes. 0 passengers waiting as well. I think it'll take a little bit of time, but I definitely think we will be seeing more use out of it, especially as we get into adding the tram network. All right, so to finish this area off here, I actually want to come into this little triangle here and fill it in. And since we've pretty much gone so long without a single time lapse, I think I'm going to go ahead and time lapse it. So I will be right back. Alright, so here we are, and I accidentally messed up. We did get this unique building right here called the Iron Press building. It looks like it is a mixed-use unique building, so I forgot to include that little fancy thing there where it shows you, congratulations, you just unlocked something. But either way, we've got this little area filled out here, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think maybe we could sneak in this Iron Press building somewhere over here if it's not too large. Oh, this is actually pretty large. Never mind. I don't think we'll be able to do that. But either way, I'm kind of liking the way this looks, and I'm thinking as we progress further into the city in this direction, it'll start to really flow and fill in and not look like it's so out of place right now. But that is that. And that is the first half of our fancy little thing. And it looks like we've got 6 passengers waiting without any sort of inner island transportation going on. We've got 13 over here. So let's see if we can bump up those numbers. Because remember, we're not done yet. We still have the trams to deal with. And I think we can go ahead and just start on this side. And for this, I was actually thinking about taking a regular 2-lane road right off of this one, bringing it out some distance. We'll just put it right there for now. And then this is when we can go ahead and bring out our tram depot and kind of... Ooh, this is actually pretty large. I was hoping to fit in a parking lot over here somewhere. Let's go and look at our contour lines as well. Does not look like we're going to be able to fit in a parking lot over here, which is actually very unfortunate. You know what? I think we'll just go ahead and do it anyways. We'll just shove this right down in there. And there we go. We got our tram tracks. And now's when we're going to go ahead and start upgrading all the roads that we want our trams on. Now, of course, we do need them over here and over here. Oh, that's right. We actually don't want this one to be a one-way because of the trams, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. I think we actually want to take these roads and actually upgrade them to 2-lane roads, just like that. So that way we can have the tram go in both directions from here. Because I actually want the tram to come down in here and have one stop right in front of the harbor here and then one stop off to the left. Now, the reason for that is here, let's go ahead and bring out our tram stop so I can go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. We want this one to be on the right-hand side of the road and then this one to be on the harbor side of the road. The reason for that is because when it comes out of this tram depot, they don't head to the first stop in line. They head to the closest stop in that direction that they're going. Or no, just in general, the closest stop. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that right, but either way, there's some really weird bugs that'll happen where, say for instance, we put this stop that on this street right here over with this stop. There's a chance that this tram will, if it'll go past this stop here up until the next stop way beyond, and then it will reverse and go on the opposite side of the tracks to come back this way. And it'll do that every single time when one of the trams needs to go back to the depot and comes back. And it'll cause conflicts with the trams that are trying to head to the stop naturally. And it'll cause them to despawn, and it's a nightmare. And so I've learned that I have to have trams or the stops equal distance on opposite sides in the directions that they're going, just so that way we can, and then put those as the first stops, so that way you can avoid this weird conflict thing. Either way, I don't really know how I'm explaining it or if I'm explaining it well enough, but there's some weirdness that goes on with trams, and that's how I found to prevent that really awkward stuff that's happening. But either way, for now, we're just going to do one giant loop. I do not want one giant loop in the future. Once we start getting into, I believe, the rest of the island, I want to actually divide this up into 3 separate tram routes, where we have one that uses this main road here down into the working area, and then it goes all the way up to the harbor and back, or maybe a little bit past over here, just past this roundabout, we'll have the end of it. Then we'll have another one that goes along this end of the island that maybe possibly curves out and crosses over into the next island. And then we'll have this one right here that uses this route and then stops in that intercity bus area. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and stick with some crazy giant tram about or whatever that goes throughout the entire city. Now, as far as the rest of this goes, we're going to have to think about some of the roads here, because when we have the one without medians, the tram track goes to the outside, and I want all of our tram tracks on the inside. So I'm going to have to go around here and then upgrade, and I'm going to upgrade these to the 6-lane divided roads, just so that way we maintain that. Let's see if I can upgrade one of these to show you if it'll not snap to some weird thing. Just that way we can maintain the 2 lanes of vehicle traffic on the outside and then keep the tram tracks in the middle. And then when you do something like this and you put, say, a stop on it, which I don't know if we want it, we don't want it there, so let's upgrade another segment here, just like that. Then we put a tram stop, say, right here and here. And another thing I've noticed is you also want to have the stops towards the middle, in between the two nodes that it forms. Like we have the stop start on the left and on the right. If you have it start or stop too close to one, the tram will like overhang, or when it tries to like continue, or if it has to cross over some other trams, it'll cause problems and they'll despawn and whatnot. So I've also noticed that you want to have them towards the center of each. And I forget what I was just saying there with the whole tram stops. Oh, when you do it in the middle like this, it creates this median and gets rid of the parking, which I really do like and appreciate. And people will use these crosswalks, say over here, and then they'll just walk down in the middle and then they'll wait at their appropriate stop. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade all the roads real quick. So I will be right back. All right, so I've got all the roads upgraded now to have the appropriate road sizes that I was looking for. And now I think when we want to go around and just go ahead and start adding stops. Now I know we wanted one over here by this thing, like the welfare office, low income, and then this neighborhood over here. And we've brought the tram track down and in over here towards this area. And I was actually thinking we could have stops on both sides of this street right here. Maybe one right there as well as one right there. And then we can come down, and I wanted to add one just on the other side of the high school and college here, maybe right about here and here. Bring it all the way down. One more by the university, I'm thinking. That might be a bit far. You know what? That's going to be just fine. We could possibly bring it back just a little bit to help include some of these homes right here. And then everything in between, we can go ahead and leave alone for now, since we don't really have anything over here, so there's no need to have a stop to slow down the line right now. But that's pretty good. I think we'll have plenty of stops all around, and then I can go around and readjust maybe some of the bus routes to help encompass some of these places to bring them to these tram stops or something. So yeah, like I was saying with the tram thing, you want your first stop to start on the first one on that side from it, I think, if I remember right, or else it does like this really weird reversing stuff. And so start first one on that side, and then we just keep going down all the way around on the right. And this is where things get really annoying when you have the overlapping tram stops, trying to select the one that you're actually looking for. But that's okay. I think we'll be fine if we just come through here and add them as needed. And then finally we just finish the line. And then from here we should see all the little trams coming out of the depot here to drop or start moving people around. Alright, and when we look at this, we currently have 6 out of 10 in use, 7 out of 10 in use. I'm thinking because of how many we'll probably have in use once all of them start getting out, we're probably going to want to add the garage extension add-on, which is going to be another 25,000 a month. And that's okay. I think we'll be able to afford it. And I think businesses and people will be happy enough now where we will actually start to earn more money. Actually, I don't know if we'll start to earn more money because we're already earning about 39,000 an hour. I think we'll be okay. I think we won't have to worry about it, and we'll just be fine. And this will just help keep things clear and start moving people around the island. But we are only one island through. We still have a whole other island to go. And I still haven't even adjusted the bus routes over here to help move these people to the tram routes. But it is what it is. And I will get that done at the end when I'm detailing or something. But we do want to think about this island. And yet again, I feel really stupid for saying finally finishing an area, and then here I am realizing there's still issues that need to be fixed over here. But you know what? It is what it is. But for this area, where I was thinking about putting the tram depot is actually going to be over here by the farm. I actually want to demolish that, bring it back just a little bit, pause the game, and put this power line underground, just like that. And then from here, I kind of want to just take off a regular 2-lane road. We're going to have to do a whole bunch of jiggery pokery kind of stuff going on here with our upgrading roads and whatnot, but I think that'll be just fine. We can go ahead and level out a nice little ramp there for this road to just come straight down off of. Bring it straight over. Actually, you know, let's just keep it going straight out just like that. And then we can put down another tram depot out here. Something maybe just like that, I guess. I'm thinking that's perfectly fine. Let's see if it needs more road access. It does not. In fact, we can actually trim this off right about there, and that is looking perfectly fine there. But now's when we want to go through and we need to upgrade highways, because unfortunately one of the things we can't do is upgrade highways to put tram tracks on them. So we're going to have to change these, and my goodness, is that road maintenance vehicle holding up this area? Why is it stopping like every 3 seconds? Is it working, like fixing the road or something? Huh. Well, sorry everybody. I guess you guys just have to deal with that. But either way, same thing. I think I'm just going to go around and upgrade the roads in the blink of an eye. And yeah, I will be right back. Alright, here we are, and I've gotten all the roads upgraded and changed out to have tram tracks as well, but I have not put stops down. Now, what I did with this is from this depot here going right, I then had it turn right to go down into this little mini neighborhood over here, and then go all the way down and hook a left in front of this first commercial stop. And then in order to get it back onto the main road, instead of having it try and go through this awkward thing and creating even more traffic, I then took the regular tram pathway or tram road or whatever, and then brought it off the road to try and sneak it up into this roundabout up here. One of the areas that I also had a little bit of trouble with was right over here, because I don't know how I'm gonna do the lane math here or how it would work out. Because if we take, say for instance, this 4-lane road with central, or with the divider in the middle, you could see that the straight through, you lose a dedicated turn and a dedicated straight through. And I'm not quite sure what I think about that. And so for now we just have this. And I think if we just ignore it, it'll be okay. But it does create that problem like with this one right here, like this right hand turn. It's not free flowing, so we would have to, say for instance, come in this way. And oh, I didn't realize that we couldn't put a stop sign on just one side of the road here in City Skylines 2. That would have been kind of nice, because that is a feature in City Skylines 1, but you know, it is what it is. We can just suck it up and move on. I bet in the future they'll have something happen with that. But I think this is the only spot that I'm kind of not okay with. But unfortunately, we can't add or remove any more lanes from here. This is just what we've got. And we did have a little bit of funkiness right here because I didn't want to destroy any buildings in the process of upgrading the roads, but it's fine. I just realized that we have the tram line that goes all the way out here. And I think what I actually would like to do is to then bring the tram down into this particular little area here. Maybe we could take it off of that, right? Oh my goodness, what in the world? Why do you not have the zoning anymore? Let's put that back. I don't know how that changed. I'm unsure how this changes zoning. Oh, because it changes the size of the roundabouts. That's actually interesting. I didn't realize it would do something like that. So I guess we will just go ahead and leave the what's it called there? The tram tracks on that road. And it looks like we're also going to have to upgrade. Oh no, we don't. I could just, oh yeah, no, I do want to upgrade this to be 2 lanes. That way we have the tram tracks going in both directions there. And then when we come in here with our tram stop, push the I button so we could actually see what we're doing here. We can then put a tram stop on either side of the road there. So that way as the people come in and out of the ferry, they can just stop right there and then easily get around the island. Or maybe they're coming from around the island and they just want to stop there. I'm thinking we'll go to the left here and maybe right around over here. I'm thinking, remember we want to put these, oh, I think we're in an autosave. We want to put these towards the middle of these, or else it'll do some weirdness when it's towards the ends of the little in between the node things or whatever. And then maybe we could put another stop maybe right over here. I'm thinking that's pretty good. And then when we come down over here, I'm thinking we're only going to want 1 stop in this area. And I'm thinking we should actually probably put it in front of this commercial, which kind of stinks, which means that's a very long walk for some of these people on the other side. but we do have the majority of our population on this side, so I think we can go ahead and get away with having the tram stops like right there. Then maybe we could put one over in this area for these people, just to be nice to them, I guess. I don't know. And then I think maybe one last one right before they go onto the freeway. Ooh, not a last one, sorry, because we need one more, I think. And I would like to put it in this area over here. I think this would be great. I think that would be considered by most sims to be walking distance to everywhere in this industry area. Maybe not to like these offices that will eventually zone in over there, but for the most part, I think that's good. And I'm thinking that's pretty good. Now all we have to do is come through here and just hook all these up. Oh, that's right. We want to start from closest one. And I think the ones on the left and on the right are approximately, they're going to be very close to the same distance. If they're not, that's when I guess I'll be able to show you what I'm talking about when I'm saying things like they do this weird thing where they go to the stop beyond in the opposite direction and then pull a U-turn. And it's just, there's a lot of weirdness that can happen sometimes with trams, but hopefully we don't have to see that this time. Hopefully we could just go ahead and go through here and put down all the stops that are necessary and it'll work as intended. Hello? I want this stop right there. But anyways, I will be right back. 1 second. Alright, I'm back, and it turns out I made a mistake over here. I forgot that this road is actually desired by people, and with the tram stop there, it was causing some backups, but I got it upgraded to the regular 4-lane road with medians that way it just immediately puts the stops right in the middle there and lets people have this free right-hand turn without having to worry about the trams getting in their way or nothing like that. But unfortunately, as you can see from that little thing there, that little icon, we don't have enough vehicles, so we definitely need to come over here and upgrade this in order to have its expanded garage. And hopefully that will be enough. If we click on one of the vehicles here and maybe look at its line, we should see that this one has 6 assigned vehicles. Now, what's the other line? Tram line 4 or something like that. And this one's also 6. So yes, all we needed to do was upgrade it once, and now we have plenty of vehicles for these lines. And it does not look so far that any of these are doing anything weird or funky, where they go past and then reverse and disappear. So they're not doing any of that, which I am pretty happy about. At least not yet, because I just upgraded this road right here. And so I guess this is where we'll find out if, yep, it doesn't look like it's doing that funky thing. So looks like we are in good standing now. So with that, I think I want to kind of just let this run for a few minutes and then see what our tram line is like, or not our tram line, our ferry line. And it looks like already, I forget what it was before. I think it was only like a few people or so waiting. And already with the addition of the tram lines, we have 37 people waiting and rising. We're now in the 40s at just that one stop. And over here, I think it was 0 when we looked, but we just put it down and now it's 16. So this is cool. It's really neat to see these starting to fill up as soon as we got these trams down and had just let them run for a little bit. But I want to let this run a little bit longer and see what happens. So I will be right back. Alright, so I was just letting this run and going around and detailing and changing the lines a little bit. I'll talk about that in a second, but this is one of the weird things I was talking about, where this tram here is on the right hand side, the outside, And same with this one. And it looks like they're sending their trams over to this stop first and then reversing into their line. And it's, as you can see, it's not good. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to change it. So for now, I think I'm just going to delete the lines and try over again. But I kind of want to talk about like some of the stuff I did in that little bit of a time lapse there. I decided to put a pathway over here just to make it a little bit easier for people to walk to the tram stops and then into their work area. And then hopefully it's easy for them to get around. That's not my concern. And then I did not like the fact that the tram was going through a small low density neighborhood. So what I did is I then upgraded this, which it looks like I forgot to push the farm back out, but that's okay. And then I brought the tram off in the background so it was kind of on the hill. And maybe, depending on how big the trees get, the people who ride on the tram might be able to get a nice little view of the harbor there and look over the houses. But then I put a tram stop right in here on this tram track here for that little neighborhood. And then I had it come down over here and plug into the commercial area on the left side next to the parking. Now the reason for that was actually because on this side, it was causing a backup. It turns out there's a lot of traffic that wants to use this one little street right here. So I needed to get rid of that. I needed to make sure that it did not go there. And other than that, it appears everything is going just fine, except for obviously the reversing section here. So I think I'm going to try that out. Go ahead and click on it here. We're going to go tram line 3. We're going to go ahead and just delete the route. And we'll see how long it takes for this vehicle to... Oh, as soon as I delete the route, then it's like, oh, now I know what to do. Tram line 4 is okay. This one has to return to depot. This one's returning to depot. All right, so it looks like we're going to have to make the whole route over again, which is a little unfortunate. But remember, I'm actually going to pause it this time because I want to watch what the trams do right off the bat. All right, I got it all drawn up now, and now let's kind of watch to see if the new line turns right out of here or if it turns left, and then it's going to try to do the whole silly reversing thing. But there we go. Here's the first one, and it is going to go left and do a very stupid reversing thing. Got it. Oh boy. All right, well, this is going to cause us some issues. Oh no, this is tram line 4. Oh, but there's tram line 3, and yeah, you could see it did go this way, and then it's going to go into the reversing thing here. And I'm actually surprised that this one did not actually cause any issues with it, because, oh no, because that was not tram line 3. If that was tram line 3, it would have caused that weird thing where they'd both try and go at the same time. So there's tram line 3, this one's tram line 4, so it looks like we might be able to sneak by with it here, where we don't have to worry about it. What in the world? Wait, where are you going? Where's this one going? This one's just straight up in the wrong direction here. You're on the wrong side of the... Well, it's going all the way down over here to then reverse and go in the direction it needs to go. That is actually pretty wild, not gonna lie. And I think that's actually an issue with the trams being in the middle of the road. Now that I'm thinking about it, because if we put the tram tracks on the outside with the non-median roads, there won't be a reverse section, I don't believe, so it would force them to have to go in the direction they need to go to originally. So I think this is actually an issue with design choice. Of course, obviously an issue with the AI, the traffic AI, but I think you get the picture. But yeah, I'm thinking this is looking pretty good. I'm happy with it, and I think I could actually finally say we're done. But I think I'm actually going to go ahead and maybe detail this little area over here, and maybe a couple of the other tram stops, add some pathways or something like that. But it looks like we still have traffic over here. And this is what we were trying to fix. So this is actually a little bit concerning. And I think we've been having this run long enough now where it should have cleared it up if it was going to. And since I don't think it is, one of the things I would like to do is take a very large roundabout, slap it down right there, and all of a sudden, boom, you could just see all that traffic just flowing like crazy. And, well, I guess we don't need it over there. It doesn't look like we need one over there. But this is looking good enough. Oh, nope. It is now still complaining. So I think, what if we take a 6-lane road in here? And we just do something like that maybe. Oh, that's probably why we got a node like right there. That is insanely short. Let's try this again here. That might have been what was giving us issues, where maybe the drivers were all trying to change lanes right there. And this is looking good now. I mean, now all the vehicles are confused, but everything's free-flowing now. And who knows, maybe that was actually all we needed in order to deal with all the traffic issues that were over here. But we've got it done now. And I am pretty happy. So I think I will detail one last area over here, and then I'll kind of show it off a little bit, and then that'll be the end of the episode. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.